Yo, what up? With Zelda's 40th anniversary arriving next month, I thought I'd share some of my hopes for new Zelda releases in 2026. Something the entire Zelda community seems to want are ports of the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess to the Switch 2. While I'm not opposed to the Switch 2 receiving these two amazing games, we already have two amazing versions of these games on the Wii U. I understand only 7 people own a Wii U, and this would be a smart way to bring them to a wider audience, which would be great. I love watching people experience these old games for the first time. It just wouldn't benefit me that much to re-release them. Don't get me wrong, I will definitely replay them if this does happen, but I'd much rather something new. Like a new spin-off. With the Zelda spin-offs, we have Cadence of Hyrule, a rhythm-based roguelite game. Then there's the Hyrule Warriors series, which is a hack-and-slash warriors game. And then there's Link's Crossbow Training, a Wii Pointer tech demo shooter game. I would love to see them make a new spin-off roguelite game. Cadence of Hyrule is a roguelite, but it largely takes a backseat due to the rhythm mechanics being the main focus. I would love Nintendo to throw their hat into the ring with a roguelite that could compete with the greats like Hades or Slay the Spire. Just imagine a Zelda game where you have to work your way through 8 or so dungeons or temples, where every reset you get to choose between health upgrades, magic upgrades or stamina upgrades before you start a new run. I think items should mostly be obtained in runs and lost on death, but with some exceptions that you can purchase in the main hub. This could be a fun way to mix up the Zelda formula, but the need to strike the right balance of Zelda style and roguelite. As for the more traditional Zelda style, I would love to see Grezzo take on their own new Zelda story using a modified version of the Ocarina of Time 3D engine updated for the Switch 2, mostly to remove any required touchscreen elements but also for improved graphics. Think of it like what Metroid Dread was to Samus Returns. This would be a nice way to appeal to fans of the traditional 3D Zeldas who want a more limited open world in the style of Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask, using a central hub with many paths extending from it. It might not be a perfect game format, but there's an odd charm to this style of game in my opinion. It would also be great to see excellently themed dungeons with brain-melting puzzles akin to the Shadow Temple, Great Bay Temple, Stone Tower Temple, or the Ancient Cistern. Something for the Breath of the Wild fans that I would love to see is a manga series for it, hopefully written by Akira Himikawa. I absolutely love all of the Zelda manga stories and how they retell the stories in such interesting and adaptive ways without breaking the continuity of the games. When it comes to these manga, I don't care about canonicity, because they are just that great. Breath of the Wild has a great story, despite what people online would tell you. Living in a destroyed world caused by your failure and learning them through the memories is heartbreaking. And because of the story being split between past and present, it could make a really engaging manga series that could effectively be 2 stories in one. Back to the games. I'd love to see in A Link Between Worlds remaster. I believe this game was the perfect middle ground between the open-air Wild era games and the more linear item-based progression games. By allowing you to purchase most items near the start of the game, you can effectively go to the dungeons in any order, while it also limits you to one path. I just think more people need to experience this game, if I'm going to be honest. As for why this and not A Link to the Past, well, A Link to the Past doesn't really need a remake in my opinion. The version that you can play on Switch Online is a 10 out of 10 way to experience the game, and remaking A Link Between Worlds shouldn't be too hard, as not much needs to be cut out to improve the flow of the game because it is already near flawless. This might be a bit hard for me to explain, but I would love for Ocarina of Time to get a full reimagining, not just a remake of the game, but an expansion of sorts. Look at all this empty space surrounding Hyrule. I'd love to see them add extra content all around this map. Give us new areas, new dungeons, and a bunch of side content. I'd love for it to feel like a new game, similar to how I felt about the Resident Evil 4 remake. It follows the same progression and the same types of areas, but every inch of the remake expanded upon the original to the point that it feels like a new game. Everyone's already played Ocarina of Time, so why not experiment and go crazy with it? And if you somehow haven't played it, the original would still be on Switch Online. This one seems the most unlikely to happen, as changing a game as beloved as this one will inevitably cause some people to dislike this, as it's not like the original. Something that most people wouldn't complain about being changed is Zelda 2. I love the different type of gameplay this game provides with a Castlevania-like side-scrolling combat system. A remake of this game to fix some of the annoyances of the original would be amazing. I'm not even talking about the difficulty, although it should be made easier. I'm talking about things like having to interact with a random table to get an item needed to progress, or the boots that let you walk on water, but not all of the water, causing you to walk around aimlessly hoping to find the correct path, or having the only respawn point being the North Castle when they could really put a respawn point in every town. I know I'm going to piss off some random indie dev on Twitter for saying these things, but I do really love this game. A remake of Zelda 1 would also be neat. I'd also love to see remakes for the 2 Oracle games. They are great games like all Zelda games, but they could really use a remake. Just chuck them in the Link's Awakening and Echoes of Wisdom engine and call it a day. These games could really use more item buttons, which was an issue shared with the original Link's Awakening that the remake fixed. Not much more to say about this, but these two games offer such a unique experience with the linked game mechanic that I think more people should get the chance to experience them. I'd love to see a remake of the two DS games, Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. These games have some of the best vibes in the series, everything from art style to music to the characters are perfect. I mean, who doesn't love Linebeck? The thing with these games is that they are extremely tied to the use of the touchscreen to the point where they only feel good playing on the DS. I feel like if these games were changed to have a traditional control scheme while making the items use unique mechanics like mouse mode to control the boomerang on Switch 2, these games could become a lot more beloved. They also have some moments that could be altered to make the game flow better. Probably don't even need to mention what dungeon I'm thinking about. Finally, the number one thing I'd love to see Nintendo release this year. Zelda Picross 2. A revolutionary puzzle series that provides the player with the most engaging tests of patience and logical problem solving, rewarding you with the reveal of a charming picture to congratulate you when you finally solve it. Alright, Twilight Princess sequel would also be kinda cool, with Colin as the protagonist and a less world-ending threat than other Zelda games. All of this plus an expanded world with Link acting as the mentor for Colin throughout the game. This could also be the first proper time Link would speak in the game, serving as a way to ease people into the idea of having Link speak in the movie. Actually, forgot about the movie until now. Hope we get a trailer for that too.